A shocking revelation tonight by Karrion Kross after he spoke to Adam Pearce that I don't think any of us were expecting. The Wyatt Sicks have been moved to Smackdown. Now, I've seen probably 50-50 people's reaction to this. Some people love it, some people hate it. Now, I don't know which one you fall into. Let me know in the comment section down below. Honestly, for me, I'm optimistic. And I'll tell you why. During this feud, Karrion Kross has picked up a lot of momentum and a lot of popularity. If you now have the Wyatts come straight back in, have that final showdown, defeat the Final Testament, what does that mean? Back of the line for Karrion Kross again, and then never being seen on TV again? I don't want that, and I'm sure many of you also don't want that. So, if this isn't over, which it definitely didn't seem to be tonight, and the Wyatts go off to SmackDown, and this is something we can come back to in the future, I'd be interested in how that plays out. A group like this has never been easy to follow. There's always twists and there's always turns and there's always things that you don't see coming. This is definitely one of them, and I'm sure this isn't part of the story per se, but I'm sure WWE are going to make it part of the story. On SmackDown, I think there's more they could do. Braun Strowman is over there. Obviously, that now opens up the door for a feud or for him to join the Wyatt Sicks that we once theorized. The Bloodline are over there too. Obviously, that's something Triple H hinted at a long time ago at a press conference. He hinted at the Wyatts versus the New Bloodline. And also, Hill DIY. What does Dexter Lumis think of the goings-on from Johnny Gargano recently? Also, Alexa Bliss. Now, we don't even know if Alexa's going to be part of the group, but if she is, putting her on the same brand as people like Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair, who she has a huge history with, definitely would make sense if she does also return to SmackDown. I think why so many people are shocked by this is the fact that obviously we don't know the reason they've moved the Wyatt Sicks. It could be something like, hey, Netflix doesn't really like this kind of thing, so we'll put it onto SmackDown, which is on USA Network in America, that love this kind of thing. It could be something like that. 100% I would like to have seen the feud between the Final Testament and the Wyatt Sicks play out first. But remember this, if we come back to this in a year's time and something big happens and they continue this, people will be shouting, oh my God, brilliant, long-term storytelling, just like they've always done before. There was a tease from the Wyatt Sicks on Twitter today, and it led to the Bible verse of John 13:7, which says, what I am doing, you do not understand now, but you will understand later. So I'm hoping that this is actually them saying it's okay. Don't worry about it too much now, you'll like it later on. This is things you might have missed from WWE Raw. Make sure you've hit the like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. Chad Gable would be in the very first match tonight against the best luchador Adam Pearce could find. There was a little promo during the commercial break you may not have seen in America. Nothing noteworthy, just Chad Gable being the heel, getting the crowd to boo him before the huge debut of Penta. The rumours, the speculation, the teases, all true. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think WWE could have done this debut any better. Genuinely, the first match of the night, an absolute banger. And this was just incredible. Allowing Penta to be Penta, allowing him to captivate. Yes, there was a botch. So what? If that really upsets you, grow up. There was a botch, it happens, it's wrestling. He still was able to turn and rotate to hit the leg. It wasn't a big deal. I really like how Michael Cole would say it was the worst kept secret in WWE, because it was. They said his name last week, and of course they put the merchandise out earlier today. It wasn't a secret that Penta was on his way. No real surprise, but Penta would pick up his first win in WWE tonight, and then he would cut a promo. Very, very cool. Half in English, half in Spanish, calling WWE his new home. You could say his present. Stating that while everyone has been waiting for this, so has he. Obviously a dream coming true for Penta to be in WWE. You know the masks are selling. You know those t-shirts are selling. They look absolutely incredible. And after this performance tonight, I'm in no doubt Penta has a whole new fan base. This was absolutely incredibly done, and I like the fact it was the first match of the show. We know that's what a lot of people were looking forward to tonight. so we do it immediately. Now, some of you may not know this, but Penta does have a tag team partner, a very long-term tag team partner. They were the Lucha Brothers more recently in AEW, but they've wrestled together all over the world. All the speculation was that the Lucha Brothers had left AEW, but then it came out that Rey Fenix's AEW contract was extended by Tony Khan, and therefore he's now sat on the sidelines, potentially up to another year, but he is likely to be heading to WWE once that contract expires. As a fan, it's unbelievable to me that you have Penta under AEW contract for 5 years, and it's WWE on day one releasing a replica mask. AEW never did. It's absolutely cuckoo bananas how they never merchandised Penta. Well, later on we'd see on social media the pictures being snapped for Penta and for Triple H, and they got Triple H to do the Penta's pose, really cool, and having Rey Mysterio talk about Penta during the commercial break before the main event, that was a really nice touch, adding legitimacy to him immediately. As Michael Cole would say as Penta would win his match, welcome to the big time. Tonight's Raw was kicked off by CM Punk, and after he thanked the emergency services for battling the fire in LA, he would declare himself in the Royal Rumble 2025. Blatantly inspired by John Cena's announcement last week, CM Punk definitely hinted at possibly an interaction between him and Cena. I mean, I'm here for that. Sign me up. I want to see CM Punk versus Cena one more time. He would be interrupted by Seth Rollins, and I love Punk's reaction saying, "Why can't Rhea Ripley interrupt me?" Brilliant. Seth, obviously sporting a new black eye, would come to the ring saying last week's loss was the worst of his career. He would declare himself for the Royal Rumble, but then it would be Drew McIntyre interrupting and declaring himself for the Royal Rumble match. Like, can anyone else say it? It's gonna be star-studded, isn't it? Drew would troll the fans about a triple threat match, which obviously didn't happen, but obviously I'm assuming we're gonna get some kind of triple interaction, potentially, in the Royal Rumble match. That should be fun. We'd later find out from Seth Rollins backstage that he met with Adam Pearce, and next week we're going to be getting Seth versus Drew McIntyre on Raw. That's pretty big. We also got an interaction between Seth and Sami Zayn, where Seth would maybe get into the mind of Sami, saying, what are you going to do now? Roman's won. What are you going to do? Stand by his side while Roman goes for the title, while Roman does this, while Roman does that? What about you? What about you look out for yourself rather than looking out for Roman Reigns? Sami seemed genuinely curious. Could Sami go against the bloodline? Sheamus would defeat Ludwig Kaiser tonight. I do think it's a bit of a shame this match had to follow the Penta debut, because let's be fair, we were so invested in that. I feel like a lot of people just took a breath during this one, which is a shame because it still was a banger. A little bit later on, though, we would find out after an interaction tonight that at Saturday night's main event, they will fight for the IC belt. Lyra Valkyria, though, she would win the Intercontinental Championship, becoming the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion in WWE history tonight, defeating Dakota Kai. Again, mixed reactions on this one. The two would embrace after the match, so that's always nice to see. Honestly, this is really cool, and it does set Lyra up for a huge, huge momentum push. Obafemi was at Raw tonight, sitting in the audience, and I really like this. The new NXT champion being highlighted, shown that he's important. That's cool. So was Bayley, who got the crowd to call Michael Cole an idiot. That was very fun. But again, Bayley, 2 weeks in a row on Raw. Obviously, we know she's going to challenge Tiffany on Smackdown. It definitely looks like, though, if she loses that match, potentially she is moving to the red brand. Rhea Ripley was on Raw tonight, celebrating the fact she won the Women's World Championship when she was interrupted by Nia Jax. She said she was at Raw talking to Adam Pearce about the transfer window, but then she said she was going to win the Royal Rumble match and then potentially use that to go against Rhea at WrestleMania. Obviously, Bayley was there. Bayley got involved. This whole thing broke down. Are we looking at the future of like the main event scene of the Raw Women's division? Another huge match made for Saturday night's main event. Gunther will take on Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's pretty big. Suspicious me, though, was wondering, what does Roman Reigns think about Jey Uso getting a shot at the world title before him? That was interesting to me. Maybe it's absolutely nothing, but I thought it was interesting. I like them positioning Jey like this. Do you think Jey has a chance against Gunther? Let me know in the comments section down below. We found out next week the New Day return to action. We're not sure exactly what that match will be, but that's going to happen. That's interesting. And then JBL will return to Raw. That's interesting. JBL's been showing up everywhere. Seemingly still going to show up on WWE also. Sami Zayn would defeat The Miz tonight. Now, this was really interesting because Sami would win the match with the Blue Thunder Bomb, highlighted by Michael Cole. Is this maybe a bit of a refocus for Sami Zayn? Dirty Dominik Mysterio, that stupid SOB, would try and apologise to Liv Morgan tonight, giving her flowers and everything. But look in the background. Look at Finn Balor's face. Not all is good within the Judgment Day. We've been seeing these cracks for weeks. They've hinted at it again tonight. When is it going to implode? Does Liv really forgive Dom? She better not. The street fight between Finn Balor and Damian Priest would be our main event tonight. And oh boy, what a spot. From the top of a balcony, Damian Priest would take Finn Balor right through the tables with the broken arrow, the falcon arrow. Through the tables. Absolute scenes. We'd see Finn being loaded onto a stretcher as they tried to get him out of the arena, though. Damian Priest having absolutely none of it. Going straight after Finn, wanting this to end. After a 3-on-1 beatdown by the Judgment Day, and Damian having a really good near-fall kick out, of course it would be the War Raiders coming down to make the save. Note, though, no Dirty Dom coming out to help Judgment Day. Damian was able to overcome the odds, pick up the win, with Michael Cole even hinting that this was the end of the feud. So it looks like the big move to Netflix sees the end of that feud playing out. Also worth noting that this Raw only went just over 2 hours, 30 minutes, which is something Triple H hinted at. Triple H did say the ideal time for him is 2.5 hours. So obviously some weeks we'll get a bit more, some weeks we'll get a bit less. Tonight's show, though, was definitely good. Big debut, obviously crowning a new champion, big ramifications for Saturday night's main event and the Royal Rumble. For me, 9 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like the video, share the video, and I'll see you as always next time. Peace!